Hey guys, Marmalade here. What is going on? Hope everybody's doing well. If you're wondering what's going on, if you've watched my old videos, you know this is the park that I always do my gear videos and weekly Q&As, things like that. So that means, yes, I'm home in San Diego. I voluntarily got off trail and I want to go over all that. This is going to be a two-part video, so I hope you stick with me to the end. I want to explain why I'm home and what happened. And I'm sure it's confusing to you and you may be a little disappointed, but I want to explain that. And then part two is my intentions for the channel, my future plans, things that's partly why I'm off trail is my future plans. So please stick with me. I hope you'll stick with me to the end, and let me go through it right now. So as I said, I voluntarily got off trail. I know this surprises you and you're probably disappointed for those of you who enjoy my videos. I want to explain kind of thoroughly what happened. And I too am very surprised by this, but as you guys know, really quick, last year I attempted to do the whole thing, the whole 2,650 miles. I got the 702 miles down in the desert, but because of El Nino and the snow levels, I waited 5 weeks. Due to the great help from Dave and Christy, I got up to the northern terminus and started hiking south until I had the trail avalanche with me on it. Broke my ankle, ended up hiking almost 99 miles on my ankle to get out of there, but end of hike last year. So this year my intent was, my permit was from Canyon Meadows, which is the end of the desert, and just go north the remaining 1,750 miles, get the rest of the trail done and be done with the trail, but experience and see the whole thing. I messed up things a little bit by deciding to go, and it was a great experience, but I decided last minute to go on the long trail in Vermont, if you watch that. And I was supposed to get back from that trail about 3 to 5 days, which would have been tight anyway, but to get my permit started and go through the Sierras and head north and get this trail done. I was so tired and worn out, and that trail was mentally and physically taxing. I needed 2, 3, 4 weeks to just get back right. So then I didn't want to go in the Sierras, and I knew I wouldn't be able to finish the whole 1,750 miles before winter came at the end. So then the next best thing was I just adjusted and adapted, and that's where I decided to do most of Oregon, starting at Ashland, which is what you watched. About 750 miles, so all but about 22 miles of Oregon north to Cascade Lofts, which is the Oregon-Washington border, and then go another 300-something miles up to Stevens Pass, where I got off trail when I was heading southbound last year. That would connect a big giant chunk. One of the key things is I would still have about 1,000 miles left, and this is what kind of happened to me and why I got off trail. And I know it seems crazy because I was kicking booty and doing tons of miles. I feel good. I have no excuses, no injuries, no anything, but let me explain what I experienced and why I got off trail. So all in total, I was on the trail about 15 days. And you know, if you guys watched the whole series this time, getting back on trail, I had a female hiking partner. It didn't go great, and I split ways after about the 3rd day, and things got better. But first off, the number one reason why I got off trail, and this surprised the you know what out of me, was as time went on, I was not enjoying it. And I've never felt that way on any trail. But that's the number one thing, and why do it? And it's hard to do, and there's so much time and effort and money and things that take place that if you're not enjoying it, why do it? So that was the number one reason. When I got to Shelter Cove, I had 4 days to go before I got to Sisters, where you last saw my last video, day 85. And I had a good zero at Sisters, and I was feeling good. I did 32.5 miles to get into that place and was feeling good. I did 27, 27, 22.5, and like 18 to get to Sisters. But my first day back out, doing another 27-mile day, and I've talked to Dave, my trail angel, about this. I couldn't put my finger on one thing and the reason why I was feeling this way, but I started not enjoying it, and I think it was a collective between many things. I think I probably was doing too many miles, and so I was hiking, you know, all day for 12, 13 hours, and although it's beautiful and I love hiking, I enjoy stopping and smelling the roses, and I like camping, and I like eating, and I'm a social person. I like being with other people in camp, and so I think it was a culmination of hiking too many miles. I also started to get lonely. I was by myself almost all the time. You would pass hikers. I camped with a lady from the UK one night at Brahma Lake towards the end there, but I almost never saw anybody, and it got to be old. I'm good with doing that, but because I'm doing a shorter section, and I just would have preferred being around people. When I was in Mazama Village and when I hiked with Ryan, we had fun there. Besides that, I was by myself the whole time, so it was kind of weird. As I left Shelter Cove, and I had 4 days to get to, I decided to do 4 days to get to Sisters, the first day I started thinking about it, and I had 4 days on the trail, so I thought, you know what, I'm feeling this way, I'm not enjoying it, I don't know why, I'm trying to figure out why I feel this way. So I had 4 days to do it, so I just thought about it over, because I love the PCT and I've planned for this for a long time. So I think it was a culmination of too many miles, a little bit of loneliness. Weather was super hot, which is part of the trail, which didn't bother me. Um, but then I had this realization of a couple things that was I got away from the reason why I did the trail in the first place. And I realized that even if I finished the 750-mile section, I still have 1,000 miles to do. When am I going to do that? Like I put off career and real work. You know, I've earned money other ways, but gave up a good apartment and put my stuff in storage, and I've had, you know, my son and my ex watching my car, and like I adjusted my whole life to do this trail. And now, because of my injury the first year, I was putting it off to the second year. So I kept thinking, well, how much longer am I going to do this? Like, I love the PCT and I want to finish it, but it doesn't mean that much to me. I mean, I don't want to do this for the next 10 years. There's people that section hiking it for practically their whole life. And not that I won't go back out and start finishing the sections over time. Maybe next year I'll start finishing sections, but I just mainly decided there's so many other things I want to do. I'm older, I'm not 20 where I have my whole life to do this trail, that there's other things I want to do. And the main thing I want to say is I got away from, and I know I'm intelligent enough to know what the odds are. It's only like 12 to 18% every year finish the whole trail from the start to the end. But that was my goal. Once I got into the trail, I knew I had the ability to do it last year. And so doing the miles and being out there 6 months wasn't an issue. I knew I could do it. But I wanted to do it in 1 year because I am older. There's other things that I'm going to go. The second part of this video is going to be into what I'm going to be doing in the future. But I wanted to do it in 1 year, not only to experience every town and all the weather and all the people, and I had that goal. I had something to reach at the end, which was the northern terminus. I wanted to experience all that, get it done, but I also wanted to be done with it so I could move on to other things. I want to do other trails. I mean, I would love to do the Arizona Trail, Colorado Trail. There's a bunch I want to do that are shorter and not 6 months. But I was willing to sacrifice to do this one trail because the PCT means that much to me. But I realized while I was out there that I got away from what I originally hiked this trail for. And so I had invested 903 miles last year when I got hurt, and so I felt almost obligated. I got to go finish it. So I was like ravenous about wanting to finish this trail. But then I just was out there realizing, what am I doing? I mean, I'm not finishing it this year, so I don't even have that goal. So in the end, I just realized that it doesn't define me. I know that I can hike the miles. I know I love the PCT. I know I probably will go back out there and do more. I live in San Diego. I'm gonna be doing weekend trips out there just when the heat goes away. I'll be out there all the time anyway, like I always have. But that finishing the trail or not doesn't define me, and that I was letting it control my whole life and all my other goals that I wanted to do. And so when I was willing to push it off for this year to finish the remaining 1,750 miles, but when I did the Vermont Long Trail, and that pushed me past when my permit date was, and then I decided, well, I'll just do Oregon and part of Washington. Then I got into this whole thing where I forgot that I wanted to finish the trail to get it, not only to experience it, but to get it over with so I could do other things. And I don't want to be that guy that's section hiking it for the next 20 years and my whole life is stopped because of it. There's other things I want to do. So that is the main reasons why I got off trail. So that's about the simplest way I can explain what I was feeling and sensing, and I will understand if you're disappointed in me, maybe you're just disappointed that you can't continue watching the videos. I've gotten great response from you guys in the videos, and I feel like I've gotten a lot better even since last year when I started my thru hike on day one. I've learned a lot, I've gotten better, but I really hope you don't unsubscribe and leave me and all that, because I'm going to go here in a minute over what I'm planning on doing. But I hope you stay with me and support me, and just understand that this is, you know, I make myself public on my channel, but this comes down to what I feel and what I want, and the decisions I make are for me. And I apologize if some of you are disappointed, but I hope you will stick with me. We're going to do some great things in the future. So even with stopping forward though, I had quite a summer. I did the whole thru hike of the Vermont Long Trail, which is 273 miles. And then I ended up doing I was out there 14 days, but one day was only 4 miles on the rim, so I don't even count that as a full day, and I had a 0. I really only hiked about 12 and a half days, and I did 283 miles, so really good average, I feel. I started out slow too, with a 17 and 18 mile day the first 2 days. So I did pretty well. So that's 556 miles I did this summer, which isn't bad. You know, I was hoping to do more, but that still was a good summer, and I was able to finish the long trail, like I said, on my first official thru hike. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Let's move forward. Are you eager to know what I'm doing in the future and what my plans are? Let's go through it right now. I want you to know for sure, I'm still going to be day hiking in my area. It's really hot right now in Southern California. We're going through a heat wave, and I'm near the beach where it's still pretty hot. It's at 85, 90 with a little bit of ocean breeze, but you go inland and it's well over 100. So I'm going to try to hike early, but I'm still going to make my videos of my local day hikes. I'm still gonna go out in the PCT, even if I just drive out and camp and do a day hike in the morning or something. I'll still do videos of PCT in my area if you like that, especially if you're not from around here. The desert's beautiful in the summer and fall and the winter. And then one of the things that I got away from doing that I want to try to do, and I'll bring you along with me, is before I ever got into backpacking about 4 or 5 years ago, I started going to local state parks, and it was my way of camping. It's how I got into hiking before backpacking. I would go camp, and the negative is now that I'm a thru hiker and I'm out in the wilderness, I like the solitude, but you're camped next to somebody else, but I like doing the fire and cooking some decent food and car camping and bringing a cooler. I can eat a little better. And then some of the places I go have really good hikes off of there, so I'll try to show you campgrounds and what I'm doing and hikes that I do off of the campground and do that and just show you that. So day hikes, weekend and overnighters on the PCT locally and the national and state campgrounds. So that'll be videos that I'll be putting out soon. I will also be doing gear reviews, and if you request kind of videos you want to see on anything, it could be my cook kit, it could be anything, I'll do videos on it. Looking for material, so let me know. I have some ideas too. But so I'll be making videos for hiking and things like that, just not my actual long distance through hiking, in Oregon or Washington. So hope you'll stick along for that. Okay, and the biggest channel news I have, and something I've been planning for years, I was planning on doing this after I finished the PCT. This is part of the reason why I got off trail, but I am in the early stages of planning to do van life. So I'm reading a couple books right now. I'm watching a ton of YouTube videos. And so I'm gonna be creating multiple revenue streams so that when I'm on the road, I've got to work now, and it could be a couple jobs, whatever I do to save the money to get a van. If it's not built out, build it out. In the meantime, I'll be trying to save money, but also create revenue streams, and because I want to work on the road, I want to work remotely, and I can bring you guys along. I can do national parks, backpacking trips, hiking trips, see the country. That's my goal. It's part of why I did the PCT years ago, is that I gave up corporate America. I made a lot more money, but I found that I was stressed all the time, worked a million hours, and I had money to buy stuff, but the stuff didn't make me happy. That as I get older, especially now that my son's grown, I still have a good relationship with him, and hopefully can bring him on some of my trips. But my main thing is the rest of my life, I want to have experiences and do things, not have things. So this is some things that I want to go over with you and explain that this is very exciting for me. I'm going to create, basically when I have my plan, I'm going to create almost like a business plan, a timeline, so I have goals and set how long to work to save the money for the van, how long I think it'll take to build out depending on what I get. And so there's some things I want to throw at you too. I could use your help, so let's go over those things right now. So obviously I'd love a Mercedes Sprinter or a Ford Transit, things like that, and maybe that's what I end up getting, but the Mercedes are very expensive. So I would love your input, like what kind of vans, if you're doing van life, what do you like and why? What do they go for? What are good avenues to get them at an affordable price? If you guys have a Mercedes Sprinter that you don't want, throw it my way. but anyway, look, if you have some ideas what you like, take into consideration, I'll be living it all the time. I'm also 6'3", which is not unusually tall, but I found that the smaller vans, I just would be hunching all the time, so I would rather have a taller one. I've heard you can get extensions or roofs put on them, so mention that if you want, but let me know what you think. What do you like and why? I thought about the schoolies. I know you can go get a schoolie at some of these schoolyards. I would get the smaller of the two bus sizes, and they're only like 2,500 or 3,000. You just go on the lot and pick whatever one you want, but I really don't think I'm going that way. They have tons of room, but they get horrible gas mileage. I want something that I can physically park easier, U-turn, back up, things I can drive easier. I can pull into a parking lot and not worry about how gigantic my my schoolies, let's say. Also, I want a stealth camp. I want to be able to obviously go down dirt roads and camp, and a normal white van, things that people use, are more stealthy that way, and schoolie would just stand out. So I think that the schoolie's not the way I want to go, but let me know what your input is and why, and think about it. If you've got one that's a good deal, let me know. I mean, I'm looking to either buy one eventually or do payment plans or something, but let me know if you have any connects or you just have some opinions on what I should get. I have my own opinions, but I want to get some feedback and get some people talking on this channel and what you think. So yeah, let me know on that. And as I said, the second part of this for living a nomadic lifestyle is getting multiple revenue streams. So I have my Patreon, which has been doing great, by the way. Thank you guys. I'll put the links down there if you want to jump on board with that. I meant to do it, and I did not do it because the hiking got in the way, but I'm gonna do the affiliates program with Amazon. So what I'll do is, on all the gear I use or that I do gear reviews, I'm not sure if you know how it works, but it doesn't cost you a cent. But I can create a link for, let's say it's a cook set or a titanium pot that I use. And if it's something you want, or a stove, or it could be anything. But if it's something you can get on Amazon, I can put the link below in that video, and you can click on the link. Instead of just going there and searching for the pot, you can click on the link, go there, you buy it. It costs the exact same amount as you would have if you did it on your own, but I get a percentage of that. And it's a great way. A lot of the hikers and people on the road do that, and it doesn't cost you a cent, and it helps them out. So I bought some stuff from people that way just because I felt it would help them, and I wanted it anyway. So that's a great way. So in the future, you'll see the links, and I'll mention it in my videos. But that's a way of making money. But I want to work remotely, whether it's I don't know if it'd be a full-time job or if it'd be multiple part-time jobs or kind of contractor work, independent contractor work. But I want to get some things lined up. So if you own a company and you want somebody like me that could do it, I have extensive management. I was a regional sales manager in the lighting industry, but for corporate sales for almost 20 years, and covered huge territories. But this would be remote. So if you have anything that I could, even if it's a part-time job, I almost prefer part-time jobs. If I had 2 or 3 part-time jobs that I was on the road, I can spend 10 hours a week on it and this and that, and make a little bit of money here, a little money there, but it all adds up. The book I'm reading, it has to do with how to make income while you're on the road. And it shows all the stats about how companies, especially with COVID now, people are realizing that you can do a lot of work on the road. And I guess for a full-time job, somebody to do it remote saves on average $22,000 to the employer. So if you have a company and you need work on the side, or if you know of jobs like that, let me know. I in the middle of researching it, so I will probably find them out. But let me know if you know sites where, I know there's sites that have just remote jobs. So let me know if you know those and why you like it, things like that, or anything else that I'm not mentioning. I'm open to whatever. I'm in the process, like I said, I'm going to be working and saving money, but I'm also going to be growing my revenue streams now, so that when I get on the road, it could be 2 years from now when I'm full-time on the road, but I want to have them in place. I don't want to start looking and start setting them up then. So yeah, that's my biggest news, is that van life is huge. It's going to let me do more backpacking, and I want to hit all the national parks and just see the country. I've been to probably 2/3 of the states, but there's a lot of the country I have not seen. So that's my plan right now. I truly hope you stick with me, because it's going to be great. It's going to be a little different. If there's things you want to see, like I said, just let me know what things you might want to see, and I'll do my best to do it if I think it's good for the channel. And the last thing is just thank you so much for your positivity and kind words, whether it's on my videos for my hiking, if it inspires you, or maybe you're planning a through hike, or just things like that. It means a lot to me. If you notice, I try to, on the trail, it's hard sometimes because I had days and days of no service, but I try to respond to everybody that leaves a comment. But it means a lot to me. It keeps me going, whether it's just for a day hike and you guys love it and you love the music and the way it inspired you, things like that. Maybe you're stuck in an office and you enjoy the video. So thank you for all the kind words and positivity. It means a lot to me, and I want to make sure you know that. And that's about it for now. I hope you understand. I hope what you did watch, you enjoyed. I enjoyed it too, and we'll see you down the trail for sure. Bye.